Well done. Kerry Washington deletes Meghan after Beyonce's huge snub for Sussexes. So first on our agenda, we need to talk about Meghan's agency WME. Do you think it's possible that they are trying to correct a bit of negative press? So Taylor Swift said no to participating in Meghan's podcast series Archetypes, and Meghan showed up at Taylor's concert. Now, the press reports some falling out between Meghan and Harry and the Beckhams. And then, wouldn't you know it, Harry showed up at the Inter Miami's football stadium to support Beckham's team. Reportedly, he really only went to watch Lionel Messi play, but I'm skeptical. Call me a cynic, but I can't help but wonder if Harry really wanted to be photographed with the Beckhams. Now, David is way too smart to allow that to happen. Apparently, their paths didn't even cross. So Harry and Meghan, during their Netflix docuseries, casually announced Beyonce sent Meghan a text message. But Beyonce does not remember sending any text at all. Meghan and Harry showed up at Beyonce's concert. And next thing we know, Meghan was there at SoFi Stadium for the third of 3 dates by Beyonce on her Renaissance World Tour. There was some footage posted on social media of Meghan just living it up and laughing with Destiny's Child singer Kelly Rowland and the actress Kerry Washington. And that was when all the A-listers in Hollywood, including people like Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian, Jeff Bezos, and other big names, were rubbing elbows at one of the biggest celebrity gatherings of this year. Alright, so far everything seems above board, right? Well, when you start to dig a little deeper, things start to seem very sketchy indeed. Why would Meghan attend the same concert in the same city 2 separate times? I mean, how desperate is she? Meghan doesn't have anything to do. She's got no real friends that she can spend time with, so I guess she just attends things like this for photo ops. She wants to get that attention from the media, as always, to try to make herself appear more popular than she really is. We already know Meghan Markle will do basically anything to get her name in the headlines. And then she just had to take that photo with Kelly Rowland and the actress Kerry Washington. So, interestingly enough, today on her social media accounts, Kerry Washington deleted Meghan's photobomb out of her photo. Apparently, there's also a video of the very moment that Meghan got snubbed. Somebody took the photo, and then immediately after the photo was taken, Kerry and Kelly just turned away and walked off without a second glance at that wannabe Meghan Markle. And I'm sure the sugars are going to be talking about how Kelly and Kerry are such mean girls. They're not mean girls, they're smart girls who want nothing to do with Meghan because they know that she's toxic. Anyway, apparently Meghan tried to do the same thing with Michelle Obama at some book signing in London. She just wanted to be beside her for a photo op. Well, apparently Michelle Obama set the record straight, and she said that she was not invited and she was only there for a few minutes, which completely contradicted what Meghan acted like in the media. Meghan tries to act like she's this big star who everybody wants a relationship with, but she was cut out of the photo. I mean, how delicious is that? They try to act like she took photos with all these bigwig celebrities and that Tyler Perry was close to her the whole night. But where was Tyler Perry exactly? I didn't see him. Kim Kardashian was busy hanging out with her family the whole time and Jeff Bezos. And there are no stories whatsoever about Tyler Perry being there, so I'm not convinced that he even showed up. So this leads us to the very obvious question, who was Meghan hanging out with there? After Chris Rock shredded her 2 pieces in his stand-up show, I know he wasn't hanging out with Meghan. She couldn't have hung out with the Kardashians because Kim was with her mother and her sister and her daughter and her niece, and then Jeff Bezos and his girlfriend were there as well. Nobody even considered Meghan. And if you take a look at the seating at the concert, the real celebrities were on the floor at $25,000 per seat, including Tyler Perry. So then Meghan and Harry and their people were in a nosebleed section box. They were almost as far away from the stage as they could possibly be. And did you get a load of Meghan's dancing skills? Oh my goodness, it hurt to watch. I was cringing from the secondhand embarrassment. And now I guess we know for sure that Meghan was never a stripper in her past life. I mean, just look at those dance moves. She couldn't have survived a single night. Poor Meghan, though. I mean, can you imagine being so desperate to be with the in crowd that she attended 2 of Beyonce's concerts? She got a bunch of bad press when she attended the first concert at SoFi Stadium, so she decided the best remedy for that situation was to attend a second one so that she could be photographed with some of Beyonce's friends who didn't even seem to realize she was in the photo. Oh, I almost feel sorry for her. I don't, but I almost do. It's all just an exercise in trying to repair that broken image for the untalented Meghan Markle, grooming the audience to believe that she really is part of the celebrity in crowd. Meghan only cares about appearances. We already know that. It doesn't matter what the reality is. She believes that appearances are all that matter to anybody. She is so fake, so shallow, so superficial. Now, Meghan uses people. She believes that taking photos with famous people of color is gonna force people to like her. She forgets everything that she has already said, and she believes we forget it too, obviously. I mean, she acted like she didn't even know that she was a quarter black until she decided that it was going to benefit her, and she decided to play the race card. If she really was so unashamed of her black relatives, then she would have invited all of her mother's side of the family to the wedding, but did she? Absolutely not. And now she just takes Doria everywhere she goes to prove that she really is black, when her entire life she actually had filled out forms as if she were Caucasian. I couldn't help but notice that Jay-Z banned her from the VIP section. Oh, good for him. He knows what she's up to. She would have posted so many photos of herself and Harry as if they were good friends with all those real celebrities who were in the VIP section. They need to be very careful getting involved with Meghan Markle, though, or else they're going to be the next people to be markled. Used to, I was actually a pretty big fan of Beyonce, but then I heard her defend Meghan using Meghan-like word salad, and so I kind of stopped being such a big fan. It sounds like Beyonce, though, is happy that Meghan is wreaking havoc with the royal family, being brave and speaking up. That was some of what she said. Absolutely absurd. Beyonce, please do not trust Meghan Markle. She's only going to try to use you and your friends to benefit herself. Over the past week, though, Meghan and Harry have shown up to all the celebrity-packed events in California, and this is after months of them mostly laying low. So it looks like Meghan and Harry believe that their royal standing entitles them to be besties with all the top celebrities, so they'll cozy up to whoever whenever they can. But because they are so disorganized, what best friend means to them is the person I can use for my own benefit with the least resistance. They're going to lean in for that photo, they're going to give them a few compliments, and then they're going to find out all about their homes and their, oh, do you have a private jet I can borrow? It's only a matter of time before Harry asks for some freebie as prompted by Meghan, because let's remember what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. But lately, it seems like way too many big celebrities have already heard about their ways, and most are trying to get away from them from the very beginning. So good for Taylor Swift and Beyonce, and especially David and Victoria Beckham. They know what Meghan and Harry are up to, and they've heard about Elton John, Tyler Perry, and the rest of them. I'm sure WME was paid well to take Meghan's side in everything, but I don't even believe they would encourage her to cozy up to people who have already decided they want nothing to do with her. But don't you worry, that's not going to stop Meghan and Harry from going back over some old ground, trying to trap people all over again. See, users very rarely give up trying to use people they believe are good marks, and top stars in Meghan and Harry's world are the best of all. One royal fan wrote, "Oh please, she was a supporting character on Suits, which was a cable TV show, hardly famous. She may have stood for women's rights, but it's already been implied that her little letter didn't do a thing despite her raving about it. Thomas just told her it did. She's doing F all for women's rights these days, and she bought that award. She certainly didn't merit it through whatever work she supposedly does." Well, that Oprah farce has been fact-checked, and it's come out that Meghan and Harry lied more than 20 separate times. And now Harry's trying to claim that his family isn't racist, while Meghan seemed insistent that they were, but now she's trying to claim that she never said that. The media made it up. Pretty interesting considering that this was a TV interview, it wasn't even on paper. Now, Meghan lied about the Archbishop marrying them 3 days before the spectacle wedding, as she called it, even though that would have been illegal in the UK, and that is just a start to all the lies they have told. So why don't people of color like Meghan? Well, that's because she tried to say that she was on the same level as Nelson Mandela, that the people of South Africa were celebrating in the streets when she and Harry got married. So I would guess that black people don't like her, especially people in Africa, because she just trashed them. She lied about that whole fire in Archie's nursery story. That story also didn't make sense because it was incredibly warm in South Africa at that time of year. Why would anybody have been using a heater? I think people of color don't appreciate Meghan because she said that people in Africa made her stay in a shack and essentially said they were uncivilized. Ooh, I could go on if I needed to, but I don't think I do. You all know exactly what I'm talking about. Meghan is following Diana's playbook, but there's one very big difference. She was there for about a year, but Diana's tell-all happened after she had spent 15 years as a working royal. And even then, Diana did not go after the royal family the way that Meghan has. See, Meghan wanted to be the reincarnation of Diana so badly, but it's completely blown up in her face. And now she's having to face the consequences of her own evil deeds. So let's keep up this discussion about Meghan's nature, her personality, and her origins. I've already come across some really interesting comments. So there's one from a couple of weeks ago that I want to share with you. LP 28487 says, I believe these children are their children. They could have used donor eggs with Harry's sperm carried via a surrogate. Or they could have used Meghan's eggs. However, there lies controversy. It wasn't until 2012 that freezing just eggs was used outside of experimental trials. Before the new method of freezing eggs, just eggs, not embryos, there wasn't a high probability that the eggs would be able to be frozen and used. Today, since 2012, there's a 90% chance of a baby using a frozen egg. So in the 1990s, they froze embryos, and that wouldn't be Harry's sperm. No matter which method was used for the children are not in line for the throne. If the royal family knows this, they are complicit in Harry and Meghan's cover-up. Now this, I think, is a really interesting point. Okay, so personally, I don't believe there are any children whatsoever, but still, I can definitely appreciate this opinion. I think it's possible. I mean, the thing about it is, no matter what, there is a big issue with the kids being in the line of succession. So really, it doesn't matter what they're lying about. The fact still stands. They're lying about something, and that is what people have such a big problem with. This is serious stuff. People are not just being nosy for no good reason. We're talking about the line of succession here. We are talking about people who remain in it, who would have no right to sit on that throne. And that, my friends, is why people are upset about this. Well, friend, I think it's the right thing to do to think suspiciously. I know I do the same thing when it comes to these two. I mean, if we didn't, we would never know what was going on. So anyway, about this rumor, I've talked about it. I have addressed it. This is a rumor I 100% believe in. Meghan Markle was a yacht girl, and that's why. Remember how awkward she was around Andrew? That explains it. And remember how also Meghan Markle was going to have to testify in that whole Virginia Giuffre case. Boy, I wish we knew more about that story. Alright friends, thank you so much for watching our video today. We went a little long, but I hope that you had the patience for it. If you enjoyed our video, please don't forget to like and share it with your friends and relatives who would enjoy it as well. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.